So thank you, Steve, and I'm really happy to be back
That's good.
here, even if it's for a few days.
We are happy to have you, my friend.
It feels good. It feels good, and and more because it's this time that it's kind of weird. I was thinking, really, for the whole of my life, and I was born early in the 70s.
Me too.
And even even longer than that, even my father's life. There's been this period in history with economic growth, with relative peace. No, at least in the West where we live, not big confrontations, big wars, problems, conflicts. Yes, but this relative tranquility, this relative peace, at least compared to other times in history. And then all of a sudden, everything seems to change. Everything seems to be
Everything changed. Yeah.
upside down.
Yeah.
Everything is like, the floor is moving from under our feet, and it feels very strange. And and for the most part, I think it's difficult to take your eyes and your attention away, even like from the news and from everything that is happening, and so on. So when we talked about being here today, I thought, why don't we take some time to stop for a second and pause and think about everything that is happening and what it means, what it may mean, because there's more than there's more to what's happening right now than just the news or just what we see on TV or radio or whatever.
Of course.
There's
It's,
more to it.
inside the homes, inside the jobs, how the life changed with this
Yeah.
pandemic, with this new way of life. The static situation that we had before now is dynamic. So yeah, it is a good topic.
So first thing that came to mind, it's now a new concept. It's something we have talked about different times, and it's the idea of resilience, which for me, since I learned about the concept, it became something important. I thought, wow, this is very interesting. This is going to help me in my life
To be
to be resilient. And of course the term comes from physics and from physics of materials, and it basically means how much pressure you can apply on a material before it breaks.
Right.
So how resilient it is if you can bend the material, how far before it breaks.
It breaks.
And in this time, again, when things change so quickly, it is more important than ever to be resilient. But I thought about what that really means.
Yeah, but resilient related to what?
That's the thing. So I tend to think that I'm not that resilient, that and I am attached to things, and if I don't have those things, I may feel lost. If maybe if I don't have a job, or if I don't have the house, the material things that occupy a lot of my time in maybe in procuring those things.
Right.
But this time, since we have to stop and do things differently, what came to mind, the first thing that came to mind is I may not think that Jay, myself, now this personality, it may not be as resilient, it may be afraid of what's happening even at times, but my spirit, my essence is, if I think about it, it's 100% resilient. And that's just an idea that I hadn't thought about before, and that brings me peace. It brings me peace to know that what's inside of me it's 100% resilient. There's no way to break my spirit.
Yeah, there is no way, of course. It's immortal, it's forever. But being resilient now, you mentioning to be resilient to this moment that is happening to us right now, we have seen there is not, we are not resilient to change. So it shocked us a little bit, this huge change that we added all of a sudden. So
the thing is, through this period of so much rapid change, what do we do? What are we doing? What am I doing with this time? You know, and I said that.
What are you doing with this new thing right now?
Yeah,
for example?
yeah,
right.
and I said resilience. The term comes from physics of materials, but it's been adopted by psychology.
Oh yeah.
And basically, the idea is, when I face a difficulty, when I face a challenge, what do I do with that? Do I come out of it wiser? Do I come out of that challenge having learned something? What did I learn from it?
What did I felt?
Or it was just, I wouldn't say, I wouldn't use that term, but I would say it's a lost opportunity, which in a way
it went by
it's
and
failing.
we did nothing with it.
Yeah, and we know, as spiritists, we know what happens with lost opportunities.
Right.
You
of
know,
course.
that life presents us.
Definitely. Yeah. We've seen the situation today, and to be resilient, you're right about the spirit. Of course, we're going to get affected, our emotions, our way that life is going to change. But in the end, we were built for change. We were built for change. And then we can and we will stand any change that comes our way. Mentioning what you say, because it can't break my spirit. It will break my body, it will break the material things, emotions, and so on and so forth. But my spirit, if I want it to be reborn again, I will be reborn with a change, and I'm going to continue, even though that I waste that opportunity.
But could it be, although my spirit cannot be broken, what happens if I don't believe that? What is the consequence of not knowing or not believing that I am resilient?
Yeah.
That's in me.
Exactly. And then we see people, killing themselves, right? This is a lot of people take this exit because they think they're not going to be able to handle it. Others, it's the mental health gets affected, the physical health gets affected, because this is what's happening when you don't believe it, that you are resilient. Okay? It's just a belief. It's not that you're not, because you are resilient. We are resilient. So that's what people fail to understand, their divine nature. Like you said, you can't break my spirit. A spirit is unbreakable. But we don't believe that, and we don't know that most of the time. People that know that, people that believe in that, they always come up, they always surface from the most difficult situations. And that's, of course, Spiritism tells us that the gospel according of the Master Jesus Christ teaches that, but when we are faced with these difficulties, obstacles that we face, we forget all about that. And despair comes, fear, and that's what happened. But you're right, we are resilient.
Yeah.
And for any type of change, for any type of situation.
So how do we work on that? How do we work on that resilience, on
That's
growing it?
believing
what
in
can we do?
yourself, right?
Okay.
Believe that you're going to have enough energy to get out of this hole. Because people keep saying that, I reached the bar of the hole. I'm all the way down here. I'm this and that. No. There's always people in a worse situation that you are. Okay? That's the first thing we need to think. And the second thing is, unfortunately, we're in a Spiritist center. We believe in God and we believe in Jesus Christ. We need to rely on this. We need to have faith, but not religious faith. We're talking about human faith in ourselves. And the third, you need to ask for help. Help, is a great word. A lot of people don't like to ask for help. But help, when you ask for help, is a synonymous of being meek, being humble. And that is very important if you're feeling this way. Look for help, and you will find it, a way or someone to help you become more resilient, become stronger and face what we're facing right now.
Yeah, and that's something that I had maybe for later, but I think it comes with this,
Go ahead.
you know, with this idea of asking for help, giving help, both, because everybody, I think everybody is in both, can find himself, herself in both situations.
Of course.
Should find himself.
It's an exchange, yeah.
Yeah, in both situations. And it may seem our first shock with this pandemic, with this experience, which has been of lockdowns and everything is closed. Even here, we have empty chairs in front of us.
Physical empty chairs.
Yeah,
Yes.
which we know are not. But for now,
We are.
I'm on the material side of things.
Right.
Still. And of course, you said we're built for change. We're built for being social. We're built for experiencing. That's what we're doing here. All our evolution, it's done here through that experience, through experiencing. And we have physical bodies,
Right.
so that we can experience. And it seems that it almost becomes impossible or forbidden. No, now you can't. Now you can't experience. Now you can't get close to people. Now you can't hug. Now you can't meet. Now you can't get together to discuss, to work, to anything. And it's like, it seems, wow, we're going to be really disconnected. And, you know, how am I going to ask for help? How am I going to help? But in the middle of all of that, what came to mind was, I'm feeling more connected than ever. I'm feeling more part of this humanity than ever, because we're all going through the same thing.
Right.
Everybody, regardless the social class, economics, race, religion, it doesn't really matter. We're all there. And what I do, my behavior, my actions right now are of crucial importance.
Crucial importance.
And they will affect everybody else.
It will.
Directly.
Directly.
On the health, on the life. People may die or live because of what I do. It's as simple as that. And I'm experiencing that now. And, you know, it's this theoretical idea that we're all the same and that we should care for each other. Yeah, but, you know, but I have my problems. So let me solve my problems. Now, all of a sudden, I can't be in touch with people, but I'm more in touch with people than ever through being part of being just being responsible. Just that, just being responsible.
Now, if you're falling, because some people think this way, Jay. Some people think a different way. The people are crazy that they need to have a distance. They cannot have parties. They cannot go out. They cannot do what they want to do because they're being forced to be home. Some people think like that. The center is closed because I don't want to be responsible for nobody to come in here sick and spread this sickness to other people. So I'd rather stay closed for now. We chose to be closed for now so we can be safe. We can, because we care for other people. And remember, the other people's problems is my problem. And my problem is the other people's problem because we are one in this humanity. And if we think this way, it's going to go back and in what exactly we just say, you're going to feel more connected than being with people. To be connected is not to be with thousands of people all the time or millions of people. It's to be connected, is to be concerned, is to care about others just like you. Mm-hmm. And we need to focus on this. It is a change for us. It is. We are forced to do some things that we don't want to do. Yes, but it's a medicine. It's a medicine that we are taking, and we don't like it. I remember when I was young, my mother used to give us this medicine. It was horrible. It's a vitamin, but it was horrible. It was horrible. For me to take that thing, it was the worst day of my life. But it was vitamin, and today I understand it was good for me.
Yeah, someone gave me today this example, and it clicked with me because I had that particular experience. Mm-hmm. It's like falling asleep behind the wheel. Mm-hmm. Now you're driving, you should be paying attention, right. You should be doing certain things, and then you fall asleep, and then you crash the car. And it may be fatal even. In my case, thankfully, it was not. It was just I wrecked the car and I didn't hit anybody or damage anybody else. But it's this thing that they say it's a wake-up call. So you're asleep, and then something bad happens, something painful happens, and you wake up.
Right.
And this, at times, it seems like that.
It seems like that, but a lot of people are concerned with the material things, mm-hmm. right? A lot of people call me and say, Luigi, how are you paying the bills in a center? Everything's closed. Listen, we are getting together when we're paying the bills. See how connected we are? Mm-hmm. But people are focused on the material things and forget the spiritual things. Oh, Luigi, the economy is this, the economy that. I'd rather have my family on the street, under a bridge, together with me, than be dead that I cannot be with them. Mm-hmm. So it's just this point of humanity and spirituality that people yet did not understood what is this pandemic is bringing to us. This sense of spirituality. Kardec mentioned this on the Spirit's book. Mm-hmm. The day you have a conflict with science or spiritism, follow science. He said that. And we study spiritism, but still we always, turn into the material things instead of turning to the spiritual things and turning to our neighbor.
And that's why I think if we stop to ask those questions about, what does this really mean? What's behind what's happening about this fast change that is happening in front of our eyes? We're going to come right away. We're going to arrive to that point where we can separate what is material from what is essential.
Exactly.
And when we get to that, then everything changes. And all of a sudden, the situation is not as fearful as it seems.
Right.
It's not as fearful as sometimes the media or the world we live in wants us to believe, which is not the same as not being responsible. We still have to be responsible. But we don't need to have fear. We don't need to be afraid of the changes, of what happens, and so on. And we don't need to be afraid of looking into ourselves in a way. Another one of the things that I saw is that this period helps us to look at things in a more relative way. Before, we did, for the most part, we didn't even think, on a simple question like what's important. Mm-hmm. Just that simple question.
Simple question. What is important?
What is important? And of course, there's always something that is important, or some things. Even if we don't think about it, that's there. So what is important when we don't think about it? Well, you just have to look at how do you spend your time? What do you spend your time on? What are you afraid of losing? And and therefore you take action so that you don't lose those things.
Fear comes. People are fear because they are fear to lose something. They're afraid that they're going to lose whatever, their status, their economic, money, their house, whatever, their job. But if you think like a spiritual person, you have no fear because you have nothing to lose. Because you cannot lose something that is eternal to you, right? Of course, pandemic happened, people keep saying, oh, why this happened? It just happened. It's just another opportunity for us to observe ourselves, how we are using our time, okay? And how we are asking the right questions, like you said. What is important in my life right now?
And that thing, how you come to that question, how am I using my time? Because all of a sudden you can't use your time the way you were using your time. And you thought that you had to do certain things in a certain way, that you had to, I don't know, take a number of meetings physically, travel here and there, even something as simple as go to the office that people do every day. All of a sudden we realized we don't need to go to the office, and we're doing the same work or even more. In some situations.
And then the possibility comes in that you're staying more home. So now they're going to know who you are, because now you're spending 80% of your time at home with the people that you didn't spend a lot of time with. So another possibility here in play, not only two of them, right? First of all, the time, how we are using this precious thing that we have that's called time. And the other one is how our choices are being made, right? And how we are behaving in face of all this. There is, a lot of people, I was reading an article the other day that there is a lot of divorce going on, a lot of fights, a lot of this, a lot of that, because the people are being home a lot. And then they're blaming into the lockdown. I see differently, okay? I see a great opportunity for you to change yourself as a human being, and to be more patient, to be more understandable, to be more, how can I say, calm, and use this time that you're having right now. But people always focus into the material thing. Always focus on the material, I'm losing this, I'm losing that, and they forget the possibilities that they're wasting for them to change as a spirit, okay? Of course, this pandemic will pass, Jay. It will pass, like everything in life. This also will pass, according to Chico Xavier. And we're going to look back and say, oh my God, why did he not act differently in face of this great opportunity that we have? Why I wasn't more human? Why I wasn't more worried about others' safety, others' people, and so on and so forth? It will happen. And I hope that we are using this time right now wisely. Very, very wisely, because there's one thing that we can recoup is time.
Yeah. And in this period, I think, to me at least, it gives us a different sense of time. Time feels different.
Yeah.
During this time. So maybe time was not supposed to feel the way it used to feel.
Maybe we were using wrong. Maybe we're giving a lot of time for something and not time for other things that are also important to our life, like spending time with my family, spending time with my kids, doing things different than I used to do before, because now I have this opportunity to do things differently.
Or even not doing things.
Or not even doing anything. just laying down. Yeah, I was talking to Edson the other day, and that's exactly what he told me. Now I can lay down on a couch and actually enjoy my couch.
And not feel bad about it.
And not feel bad about it. Not feel guilt about it. Because guilt comes from the two roots. I'm not doing something or I'm not getting something. Right? So, yeah, that's a great opportunity that a lot of people are not seeing this, okay? And they're going to miss this. They're going to miss this opportunity. A lot of people say, I don't see that. I can't wait for the vaccine. I can't wait for this. I can't wait for that. You know what? Look what's happened right now. It's a unique time in the world. This is going to be in history forever. And I hope we use this time wisely. I hope so.
That's how important this moment is.
Yes.
It's very important.
Yeah.
So I think we can maybe leave it with that.
Yeah.
With that idea.
No, yeah, definitely. No problem. No problem.
You know, of change. Maybe thinking, how do I relate to change? So how do I relate to this moment? Am I rebelling like the people saying, I can't wait for this to end? Or am I accepting the moment? Or even am I embracing the moment to see, okay, things are different. Let's see what I can find out, what I can learn about myself.
Exactly.
How can I grow?
How can I use this on my own personal gain? This change.
Yeah.
And because we're going to come out of this different people, the people they use this time right now. Others is going to go back to their regular life, is going to be exactly the same thing. But it's going to be a waste of opportunity.
Yeah.
But for those who look at themselves and they say, listen, I'm going to use this for change. I'm going to be more calm. And this, like we mentioned, and this is the time for you to prove yourself if you are able to change or not.
Yeah, because maybe you can't come back to the way it was.
Maybe you don't want to come back to the way it was, and that's change. Maybe you're going to come back and say, you know what, I'm going to find something different to do. Maybe I'm going to find something to do from home because I love so much staying with my family, cooking for my family, playing with my kids, doing the gardening, taking care of the animals, flying a kite, whatever. It is change because there is no a recipe book that it needs to be like this. No. Others is going to go back to their regular life, to the way it was, and they're going to feel okay with that, and that's fine. But change needs to happen for us. And if this time did not move us a little bit, I don't know what would.
So that, you know, what I believe is that we ask for what we need and it comes. So if this is here, we've asked for it and we needed it to change.
Right.
That's how bad we're resisting change. Very bad. So you know, my message today is let's embrace that change.
Just a funny story so we can close. So Jay, before, you know, I have people calling me now, Luigi, when the center's going to open? When the center's going to open? When the center's going to open? I say, listen, when, you know, this pandemic is more under control and this and that. I explain everything. And before, right, it was me telling this, you know, the people at the center, listen, you need to be part of the community. You need to this, you need to, you know, be part of this. This is going to be good for you. You need to, you know, study a little bit more. You need to find yourself a class. You need to find a volunteer job and so on. Now, invert, right? Now they are looking for the center. People are calling me and say, I can stay out. I'm going crazy. I need to do this. I need to do that. See? And then I tell, look, remember this time when all this passed, and remember how important small things are for you in your life, right? Because the center is a small thing in people's life, very small thing, because they spend a couple of hours here a week. Some people, not even that. But when they're missing this, it's causing a little change in them to see that this is important. Not only the center, but any place that is going to bring you closer to God. But people are seeing, and this is good.
It is good.
It is good. People are giving a lot of, how can I say, valor.
Value. Yeah.
To the center. And I have people send me texts and say, Luigi, I never knew it was going to be like this and this and this and that. And I thinking to myself, you see, we only appreciate when we lose it.
Yeah. And it's not like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the pandemic it's a good thing. I'm saying...
But everything is good for a change. Everything is good.
Yeah, but if you think about it, it could disappear very quickly if we did our part.
Right.
If we were careful. If we would, stay home, whatever it is, for a month, everybody in the world would do that, it would disappear.
It would disappear.
So...
It's lingering because we don't want to do what we're supposed to do.
Because of us. So I feel okay, in saying this is an opportunity.
It is.
And it can be good.
You can say it because it is.
Yeah.
To work several things, just like we mentioned here tonight.
Thank you.
Go ahead. No, I'll finish. Okay. So I thank you all for tonight. And we're going to do a prayer here to close it for tonight. And next week, we're going to have another panel with 2 more people that we invited in. And our Wednesday is going to be a little bit more different with those panels. So we can change a little bit because change. is good. So I invite you all for a prayer. We ask you all to be together here with me so we can connect to the highest vibration, so we can bring it down to our level, to our physical plane. The grace, the love that we need as humanity. So we're bringing down the God's love into our planet. So His love can become light in our life, illuminating our path, illuminating our steps, our mind and consciousness. So we can use this as the food for our soul. We ask for all the I need in this world. But we are also very thankful for everything that was given to us. Everything that we have that can make us to live a comfortable life. Because we know there is a lot of brothers and sisters in this world that they don't have a bed to sleep in. They don't have food. They don't have a family. They don't have friends. So we pray tonight for everybody that is in this situation. Because we are now in a position to do so. We are very thankful for this center, for these mentors that continue illuminating our lives, guiding us in our choices. So in the name of God, in the name of our Master Jesus Christ, in the name of the mentors of our Spiritist Center, We ask permission to end our workshop for tonight. So be it.